town hall and really start talking about what we wanted to discuss today, which was the pro scene builder, right? We really wanted to help everyone better understand the pro scene builder, understand how you can create scenes ahead of time to not only speed up your workflow, right? And how to be able to edit scenes at the same time while you're live, all right, allowing you to be able to have seamless transitions, seamless edits. That way the viewing experience for your viewers is great. So super excited to dive into this today. For anybody who's just tuning in, thank you so much. We have James here with us as well, who interviewed a lot yesterday. That was a great episode to watch. If you guys haven't seen that, please go ahead and check that out. But let's talk about the Pro Scenes Builder. Let's talk about it and why we created it, and then we'll show a demo of how you can utilize it.
It's funny. I'm a man, and I'm looking at the comments, and it's very hard for me to focus on you and the comments at the same time. But that's only me. So, anyways, thank you for the comments. I love the chat going like that. It's making us very excited. And before I answer about and say my thing about the pro scenes, I really want to again appreciate everyone joining to our town halls. We see the growth week after week. And, you know, it makes my day. Like, I feel so blessed and thank you. And we hope that we add value and we help you to be better live streamers and content creators. And feel free to share any feedback. Again, we say that again and again. Regarding pro scenes, I think that I really waited for this town hall to talk about the pro scenes, because that's something that if we put competition aside for a second, this is really something that we built without looking anywhere. Like, we knew when we started to produce virtual events for those that they didn't hear about our background, we're coming from the event industry. And then pandemic started, we started to produce virtual events. Pretty quickly, we figured out what is missing for us as virtual event producers. And it was obvious that pro scenes, this is something that is going to be developed within Evmux. And I can give you a few examples. One is the very common use case that you have a host, and then this host is presenting a panel of 4 people, and you would like a smooth transition from this one host to this panel. And not only a smooth transition, you want to be under control on how the scene, how the screen, how the layout will look exactly before you play or transition to the next scene. With other tools that we had, it's either OBS, etc. Very, very challenging to do this kind of setup. Other tools you just couldn't, like no pro scenes, so you had to add to stream people on the fly and do the changes, which is not very professional. So for us, thinking about content creators building their show, we see it we call it run of show. Okay, I understand that things can be very like easygoing, and we're doing this conversation every week, and we're not planning everything, right? We have kind of, we call it the pillars, right? We know that we're going to have the opening slide, and then we will have the countdown video, the 10 seconds, and then Anthony and Elad, right? And then a video that we will play soon, and then Anthony and Elad back, and then we'll see. But those pillars, we can create those scenes ahead of time. And then we did some work to set things up before the event, like literally 10 minutes. And then during the event, way easier for me to produce because everything is ready for me. I simply decide when to play things. Like, it's ready. Anthony next to Elad with the lower third, and everything is ready. After the video, it's coming to Anthony and Elad exactly as I wanted it to be. By definition, like I made it happen ahead of time. So it's so powerful.
It really does.
We're so proud of it.
And it really does speed up the workflow. Like I said, I think that initially when we set up the layers and the pro scenes for the town hall, you know, it may have took a little bit longer, right? It may have took us maybe 30 minutes or so to be able to get everything in place to understand what we wanted to have. But afterwards, like I said, it's all about being efficient, right? All about understanding that you know that you're going to have a smooth live stream, a smooth recording, because you've done the work ahead of time, not requiring you to kind of go in there and do it fresh every single time. And after we show you the demo, we're going to show you other use cases that you're going to be able to utilize, because I want you, if you're someone that hosts like, hey, on Mondays, I do this type of live stream with this kind of agenda. On Wednesday, I do this kind of live stream. And on Friday, I do this kind of live stream. Well, I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to go ahead and have all your assets that you need for each individual show. That way, everything can be set up, and all you got to do is switch between sessions when you go live. Once again, making it easier for you to start producing. So really excited about that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and run the demo.
Yeah, let's do it. Again, the combination between live and pre-recorded. Huge fan of this, so enjoy the video.
Yeah. Being able to make edits, create new scenes, and customizations while your broadcast is live has never been easier. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you or your co-host can use Evmux's Pro Editor to edit or customize your broadcast during a live session without interrupting the viewing session. So let's go ahead and dive into my Evmux account so you can see how easy this really is. All right, so here we are inside of my Evmux account, and the very first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and go live. So you have the option to select whether you just want to go live or if you want to record as well. And then once you do that, you simply want to select start. And what it's going to do is that it's going to take a few moments to go ahead and connect over to your server, things of that sort. So it takes anywhere between 3 to 5 seconds for it to connect. And then once it connects, you're going to see two windows just like this. The left side of the window is going to be the one that you're going to be able to make edits and customizations. And the right window is what your viewers and your audience is currently seeing that is currently live. So let's go ahead and push me live, right? So this is what the viewers are going to be seeing. Now on the left-hand side, I have the option to go ahead and edit any of the pro scenes while I'm presenting or doing anything. This is where your team can come in handy, or you can have this already set up pre-hand. So you can go ahead and know that, okay, I'm talking, and then I'm getting ready to go ahead and do my presentation. I can go ahead and preload it. That way, it's easy for me to go ahead and transition over once I'm ready. So you can see here now that you're going to see that I transitioned it over to the live window. So if I want to go ahead and make some edits, let's say that I want to go ahead and work on the initial big screen here on my simple scene. So you can toggle between pro scenes editing and simple scenes editing all at the same time. So you can see how seamless this is starting to become. So while I'm presenting on the other, while my speaker's talking or things of that sort, I can be here editing the next window. So I can come in here and I can go ahead and add a logo or remove it. I can go ahead and add an overlay. I can go ahead and add a background. I can change the way my screen looks. And now when I'm ready to go ahead and transition, all I have to do is go ahead and push it over. And now you can see that I'm live, allowing me to go ahead and edit any other additional scene that's here or make any kind of customizations. And it doesn't interrupt your viewing session. You don't need to come to a pause. You can literally be working on this at the same time that the event is going live, making it easy for your viewers to continue to have a good experience and making the transition as easy as possible. So you can see here that how easy it is to be able to not only have highly produced live streams, but you're also able to customize and make edits on the fly without interrupting or having to stop the broadcast or recording. So as you can see, gone are the days of having multiple softwares or the complexity of tech to get things done. See, we make it easy for you and your team to create professional recorded and live content all from your browser. But it doesn't end there. You can also stream and record multiple broadcasts at the same time and manage them all in the same editor. So to see how that all works, go ahead and check out the next video where I walk you through how to get that all set up. And if you're finding value in this tutorial and you want to learn more about improving the quality of your live streams using Evmux, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. I'll see you. All right. So you just got the opportunity to be able to go ahead and see the pro scenes in action. And, I was able to show you just some of the use cases you were able to do, but now is going to be the greatest opportunity to be able to kind of ask questions. Let us know your thoughts on like how you've been utilizing it. What are things that you felt have restricted you or you can't really figure out how to take your current production that you may have been utilizing on a different platform and bring it into Evmux and taking advantage of pro scenes. But while we get those questions, we'll dive into pro scenes just a little bit deeper and start talking about things there. So Alon, if you want to kick that off and talk about just a little bit deeper into the pro scenes and like, why it's a must use feature, aside from just dynamic has its role. I don't want to dumb down dynamic, but the pro scenes is really the differentiating factor because it's all about your creativity, and it's
Yeah.
all about what you can imagine. And when we were able to create that kind of feature inside of a web-based tool, it really opened up the playing field, to not allow really your equipment to be a hampering factor in what you create. So why don't we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a great opportunity to explain the differences between dynamic and pro scenes because people ask it a lot. And we love the question because it means that pro scenes is a new thing for them. And this is
Mhm.
exactly what we wanted it to be. We wanted it to be something new, cutting edge that people will be excited about and curious about. So dynamic scenes, as you just said, as you just said, it's exactly like the the thing that you know about it, right? Like you use it in other tools, kind of like this, and it's very easy to use, and we appreciate that. And for people starting to create content for the first time, or even though you are very experienced with content creation, but you are new to Evmux, then still, we would like the first steps for you in Evmux to be easy. We don't want to frustrate you with something new that you don't know. So dynamic scenes is there. It's very easy to use. You have the layouts, you have the templates, banners, everything that you know from other tools. And even if you're very new to the business, it's very easy to adopt. On top of that, we say to people, listen, dynamic scenes is great. But what about going to the next level as content creators? Why won't you shine if you can within the same platform? So pro scenes, it doesn't mean you have to use them in your shows, but it's there even in the free plan. So at least give it a try. I promise you all, when you go to pro scenes, you will never go back to something else. Because once you get the idea of the pro scenes, you just understand how easy it is. And when I'm saying easy, I mean easy when you run the show and easy to create the scenes ahead of time. It's literally drag and drop. You have multiple layers that you can do. Anthony, I wanted you back. You have the layers that you can create, as many pictures as you would like on the scene, as many speakers, up to 12, as many videos. You can
Mhm.
position things wherever you would like, not like
Right.
in the dynamic scenes that you are very limited. Sometimes it's good that you are limited because the system is like framing you to a specific frame, and okay, it is what it is. That's why it's so easy. But on the other end, it's not really creative, to be honest, right? Like
Right.
all the people using these tools with dynamic scenes, and the streams looks kind of the same. Yeah, you can do your background, you can do this and that, but it's not that you can really shine. Your creativity is very limited. And we
Right.
say if you want to take it a step further, prosins is just the best way to do that.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest thing is the layers. I think that's the game-changing aspect of the fact that you are able to layer multiple elements together to be able to create a show. So let's say, for example, you want background music, right? We don't have a direct integration to background music, but you are able to add a media file, MP4, MP3, into Evmux to be able to go ahead and play music in the background, right? When we do our intro to the Townhall, you see there's music playing. And all that is simply a layer that we have behind our camera, behind the background that's playing. Right. So when you understand the layers and you understand how to be able to incorporate those things in there, you're able to go ahead and start really, improving the production that you create, even if we don't have those features directly integrated into Evmux.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's a great point. And just to echo you on that, I think that what's crazy is that we see content creators, people using the Evmux, and you see how they use pro scenes, taking it to their direction with their creativity, and we are blown away. We are like, wow, we didn't even think about doing this and this and this. And that's what's
Right.
so beautiful about the pro scenes. It's basically you can create as many layers as you want, position them wherever you would like, and position them in, in order, like what is the top, and then the next, and then the next, and then in the bottom. Things in the bottom, they're not shown, but then music is possible,
Right.
right? So you can
Right.
do a lot of different things, huge creativity, and that's amazing. We really encourage you at least to try. What happened?
Right.
Worst case, you won't use it and you will go with dynamic to your show. That's fine.
Right.
But I'm assure you that once you get it and you get the advantages of the pro scenes, you won't go back.
Yeah, and this is a great question from a blind guy, his wife, their life, on YouTube. He said, when you mentioned switching scenes between sessions, that's where my confusion was in the software. What's considered a session versus a broadcast and live stream? So it's a pretty much the hierarchy of the way that it works inside of Evmux is that, let's take event is your company, right? So you create an event, that's your company. Then sessions are going to be the individual live streams that you're going to host with inside of your company, right? So what you would want to do is that if you're going to have multiple live streams, I would create, blind guy, his wife, their life, that's the event. And then I would create a session and I would say, okay, on Monday, I'm going to have session 1. On Tuesday, I'm going to have session 3, session 4. So as long as you're within inside of that event, your company, right? When you're in your Monday live stream, you can also toggle on inside the same editor, right? Where you do your pro scenes, your dynamic, everything. At the top, you're going to see a little plus icon. And in there, you're going to be able to switch over to your Wednesday live stream, to your Friday live stream. Maybe you have 3 live streams going on at the same time. You're able to switch between them and manage them with inside the same editor. This reduces having to have multiple tabs open, right? Having to toggle between everything. And it just allows you to be able to quickly say, if you're a producer, to say, I'm managing these 3 events in the same editor. I can toggle between, I can access assets from session 1, from session 2, from session 3, and mix them all together because the assets are company-wide events, right? So that's how you would be able to utilize it. It says if I'm used to setting up a broadcast linking to multiple destinations, YouTube, Facebook, and going live in Evmux, I was trying to figure it out. So yeah, you would be able to, you can stream one session to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, anything that accepts RTMP in one session. And then in the other session, you can do just YouTube. Another session, you can do just Facebook. So you have that flexibility. And the reason why we did it that way is because we were thinking about the producer, but also the one person show, right? It's one person who's managing multiple events or multiple sessions, because it happens, right? Remember, we're coming from the event space, and then we understand that people are creating live webinars and events, right? And when you have virtual events, we have multiple speakers they're like, hey, at 11 o'clock, the speaker's talking. At 1 o'clock, the speaker. But sometimes at 11 o'clock, you have 3 speakers going on at the same time. This is where the individual sessions or individual live streams come in handy, allowing yourself, your team to be able to manage every speaker session that's going on simultaneously. So that's kind of how you distinguish what an event is. Treat it as your company or a department within your company. And then the sessions are the individual live streams or events that are going on within your company during that time frame. So I hope that answers your question. And if you want to add anything else, Alad, you definitely can.
Yeah, sure. Just something quick. We do understand that sometimes the language is a bit confusing simply because we use a different language than other tools, because we think about those scenarios of having multiple broadcasts, if you will, on the same time. The reason we call it sessions is because session is something kind of like for one time, if you will. Okay. And then also in events, this is the word that people use usually, like you have session number 1 and then another session and then another session. So you can call sessions as broadcasts. It's kind of the same,
right?
Okay, same idea. With, as Anthony said, the main difference is that we allow you within the same studio to have multiple sessions in the tabs on the top, so you can dive into different sessions in the same instant of your computer. Because if you have 2 sessions happening at the same time and you have 2 instances of Evmux running, then your computer consume a lot. It's crazy. But if you go from tab number 1 to tab number 2, then you consume only one tab at the time, but
Right.
easily you can navigate between the different tabs. So that's very
Right.
helpful for a bit more advanced usage of the system of Evmux. But remember, we always say Evmux is for this one person content creator, but we
Hmm.
always think about your evolvement as content
Right.
creator. And we know a lot of people, content creators, that they do their weekly stream,
Right.
but then once a year or once half a year, they would like to do a webinar, or they do want to do a virtual event with multiple sessions and
Right.
maybe have multiple speakers and something a bit more advanced. And we want you to use Evmux for that as well.
Right.
Um, so I hope that's kind of
Yeah.
answering the confusion.
And I think that Blind Guy said, just to dive a little bit deeper here, he said that you live stream every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we would set up 3 sessions every week then. Well, only if your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday live stream is different. Right. But if you're going to utilize the same assets, the same style of run a show, you only need to create 1 session. Okay. So you don't need to create multiple sessions. The only time you would create multiple sessions is if your Wednesday show was different from your Thursday show and your Thursday show was different from your Friday, meaning that you require different assets, right? Different overlays, different lower thirds, different, positioning of the camera. But if you're just running the same run of show, we're using the same assets on both Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, then all you need is 1 session. And every time you log into that session, all your assets are ready to go, right? What we do here with the Townhall is that we created 1 session, 7 weeks ago. And every week we log into that same session, make some customizations to the title, maybe move some images around, small tweaks to be more catered to what we're talking about that day, add a different video, things of that sort. But we don't create a new session because the point of it is that we store it so that we can speed up your workflow. Right. So you set it up one time and then you forget it until almost like your next live stream. So I definitely don't want you creating 3 sessions if you don't need to. But I hope that gives you a little bit better clarification as to the use case of what sessions are meant to do. But that was a great question. And a lot of people have asked that. And I'm glad that you asked it because we were able to bring some clarification to it today. So that was great.
Yeah, we have Jamie
was great.
saying a copy session feature would be nice, like copying a scene. 100%, Jamie.
Yeah.
It's coming up really, really soon. Duplication of sessions. And that, just to add to what Anthony said, I think people, we see 2 different use cases. There are people that they are definitely fine, and we're these kind of people. Like, we are using the same Townhall every week because that's easier for us and we just prefer it that way. There are people that we hear them that they say, I would like to create the sessions every week simply because it makes me more organized to know, for example, how many Townhalls I had. Townhall number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 within Evmux. Okay. And we totally appreciate that. And for those people, exactly what Jamie just said, the duplication will be the king here, because you simply duplicate week number 1 and then call it, just change the name and then do the tweaks. So both options are fine. It's totally up to you. We will add the duplication feature, as Jamie just said. It's there on the roadmap, definitely going to be added very, very soon. And then both people, both methods, both approaches will be valid, and people will they choose what they prefer.
Yeah, and also we just went ahead and released a kind of preliminary form that you're going to be able to go ahead and utilize. So if you want to pop that on screen, Alad, for you to be able to submit feedback as far as like if you experience any bugs, if you have any feature requests, if you have any comments or any questions. This is a preliminary form that we went ahead and created. Of course, we'll start building it out. We'll start having roadmaps, things of that sort. But we wanted to give you guys a specific location that you can go to be able to submit requests that way, so we can begin to prioritize some of the features that make the most sense that are needed right now. Like the copy session feature in that sense is of importance, right? Because like Alad said, it's important to be able to say, for someone who's more analytical, right, that wants to say, hey, I just want to see the data of this one session, right? I don't want it to be, misconstrued by me using the same session 8 times, right? Now it's like, oh, I had X amount of views, I had X amount of guests and in there, but really that's over a 7-week span, as opposed to saying it per session, per live stream and things of that sort. So it's super, super, super important. I'm so glad you brought that up. Um,
Cool.
oh,
We
let's
have
see.
another question
Okay.
from Blind Guy, his wife, their life,
Okay.
which I met this week. I didn't say.
Oh,
Great
nice.
couple. Wow, it was a very exciting meeting. It was an honor for me to meet you guys, and looking forward to have them ambassadors of Evmux and spreading the word. Really
Nice.
appreciate their thing. And for your question here, I'm very happy about that because this question is basically diving into the process. So it really helps us. The question is, we do have a different guest each day. So instead of 3 sessions, I guess we set up 3 different broadcasts for YouTube, Facebook, etc. I'll try to explain that.
Mhm.
When you are using the same session every week, like it's the same session, you used it today, and then you come the next week, you use the same. And the tweaks we talked about, it can include changing the guest. In process, you created the layout and everything. Now in the layout
Mhm.
you see Anthony in the left, Elad on the right. We have logo here, logo there. With one click of a button, you can click on Anthony, like on the editor, and replace Anthony with another
Mhm.
speaker. And then you don't have to touch the layout. Everything is designed, everything is perfect. With one
Right.
click of a button, you change Anthony to another one. Of course, you have to set up the speaker in the first place in the dashboard, but assuming you did that, changing it within the editor is extremely easy. So if I'm
Yeah.
taking this use case as an example, I would go live today on Sunday. I'll do everything for the first time. I'll set it up perfect. On Thursday, I have different guests. No problem. I'll use the same stream, okay, the same
Mhm.
session. I'll go and I replace Anthony with the other speaker and Elad with the other speaker. And that's it. Within two
Right.
minutes, I'm ready.
Yeah. And it's funny because Jamie also responded the same way and gave him the solution for it as well. But yeah, I think that I think that right now, blind guy, maybe the workflow that you have, I think maybe it's it's more work on your part by doing it that way. And I think it's just like I said, everybody's learning EVMux for the first time, right? Everybody's understanding how to utilize the features and how to best utilize it. And I'm happy that you're providing us these scenarios because like you said, it's all about just utilizing the session that you have and replacing the things that you need to replace per session, and things of that sort. Like a lot said, right? If I wasn't here today, he can just plug in another speaker that he added to the session, and then it would just take the place of my position here on the live stream today. So it says we have a question from Shauna.
Yeah.
Do you have to go live to set up your scenes? Yeah.
So the answer is not only 100% not to, you don't have to go live for that. We encourage you to build your scenes before you go live because that's the
Right.
whole idea. Like you can edit live, you can create scenes live, you can go
Mhm.
crazy. But and for testing it's maybe nice to play around, but to be honest, when you are creating content, you would like to organize things ahead of time a
Mhm.
little bit, at least the pillars, as I said before. So create the scenes ahead of time, make sure that everything is looking as you expected. And then when you go live, it's simply clicking one button
Right.
and boom, 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 moving between the scenes. With that being said, we do allow you to edit live, but when other scene is playing, which is another
Right.
amazing feature. So Anthony and I live now. There is another scene that I created of a video coming up next. Meanwhile, I can look at the video, make sure that everything looks good. If I see any issue, I can edit that. Like, I don't know, the video is not full screen by mistake. Okay, I'll put it full screen before I transition. I definitely can do that. So
Yep.
tweaks, small changes, definitely do live, but really building the scenes, we recommend you to do it before. Simply, it sounds crazy to me to build scenes when you are live. Like, I'm not capable to do that, honestly. Like, to really build the show from scratch when I'm live, it's hard. And that's why the process is there to do it ahead of time.
Okay. Yeah, that is good. And then a lot of people also utilize to record, right? To be able to just create content before going live in there. Like if I'm doing a training session, I can utilize it. Like if you don't like to edit, and you don't want to do all these post edit things of that sort, you can use either the dynamic or the pro scenes to switch in between to create that kind of edit, right? Maybe I want to show a presentation. So now I put me full screen, presentation small. Then I switch it And once you get comfortable with it, you can then begin to start doing a live show, but then have it edited because you understand where to click, how to make adjustments, switch scenes, and things of that sort. And Blind Guy, I kind of think here that you went ahead and said that you wanted to show as an upcoming. So pretty much, if you are going to say on Sunday, I'm going to go ahead and schedule all 3 live streams for the whole week, then it would be ideal to create 3 sessions, because you're only going to be able to schedule that one session ahead of time. So I hope that maybe that gives you a little bit more clarification. I think that's where you were leading to. If you're going to say, I want everybody to know what shows are happening this week, and I want the up and coming, just like we do, right? Maybe two hours before the town hall, we go live, and now it's all on social media, allowing you to select get reminder. So if that's the approach that you're doing, then yes, you would create 3 sessions you would create 3 sessions and then schedule them out to the platforms. That way, all 3 live streams are showcasing on social media, allowing your viewers to be able to set reminders for the one that they see fit. So you would do it that way as well.
Yeah, so that's a great point. And sorry, blind guy and his wife, that we didn't understand that this is what you're referring to. 100%. If you're scheduling at the same time, but different schedules, you have to do it on different sessions.
Yeah.
But after you scheduled, you go live and then you go offline, you can reuse the same session to reschedule. You just create the posts again and put a new date for next week. So it's not that it's used only for once. If you would like to go with this thing of using the same session week after week, you can do that. You go live and then the schedule is basically kind of reset, right? And you can schedule it again using the same session.
Yeah. And then we have a question here from Lee on YouTube. It says, question, roadmap for Stream Deck BitFocus companion support.
Yeah, so we got a lot this request about Stream Deck and these kind of things. Definitely something we're working on. I won't say it's coming up in the next release that we're planning soon, but it is coming up. I hate to promise, right? But it is high priority, not the highest priority. But we totally get the need for Stream Deck, 100%.
Yeah, but it's definitely something I've been requesting. You see here, the Stream Deck. I'm ready to use it with Evmux. I'm ready to be equipped with it. So great question. But overall, it's been great. And once again, we have a form now where it's a general location where you can go to be able to submit these kind of feature requests, right? Because then it allows us to be able to get a count of how many times people are requesting that specific feature, allowing us to better prioritize what should be developed and what should come out first. So it's literally just an opportunity that we have an amazing dev team who's working endless hours every day on the platform. And I just appreciate everybody's patience, while we continue to develop and develop something for you guys. You can help you make your content that much better. And so we got here, it says, we got a message from Ram. It says, what is coming up in the next release? Let us in on some secrets.
No, the answer is no. And the reason is that we do want to celebrate these kind of things. Like, honestly, of course, you will be, all of you that, using Evmux and you're on our list of newsletter and things like that. And hopefully in our Facebook community, we will let you know first. And we are going to use the town halls to do this kind of announcements. So stay tuned when this is coming. It's coming up soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
But we just want when it's a surprise, it's just
it's always better. So
yeah. Stay tuned.
And then we have a question. David, thank you so much for tuning in. We have a question. What are the platforms that have integration? YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So direct integration with Evmux. You're going to have YouTube. You're going to have Twitch. You're going to have Facebook, and that can be a Facebook page, a Facebook group. Okay. And then you're going to have RTMP. So the RTMP is what's going to allow you to be able to go ahead and connect to the other platforms. Now, when you say pulling in comments, okay, when you go into the Evmux platform and you go to schedule, right, the platforms that you see visible are the ones that we're going to be able to pull comments from. When you use an RTMP connection, it does not pull comments into the Evmux platform for you to be able to present them on screen. So I hope that answers your questions there to help you understand what
I'll
comments.
just
Yeah,
add to that, specifically with LinkedIn, currently no comments coming
LinkedIn,
in.
LinkedIn.
So you
Yeah,
need to
right.
have LinkedIn open on another window to see the comments. Honestly, we're waiting for LinkedIn to get us the access for that, working on it
Mhm.
with them. It's going to be soon. No ETA, unfortunately, because it's not us. We're waiting for LinkedIn, but
Right.
they're great guys. We work very closely to them. We are already a certified partner with them, so it's coming. But I just want to make sure that now you know that comments from LinkedIn, you have to have the
Right.
other tab open with LinkedIn.
Yeah. But aside from that, the other platforms are totally fine. As you can see, we're pulling in comments from YouTube and things of that sort. So it says, I know I threw that in there to see if I had the inside scoop. Oh, yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, I mean, overall, it's been great so far. I think that the current features that are currently in the platform right now are providing a lot of aid into the content creation, into the things that people are actually utilizing it. We actually ran a poll today. And if you haven't had the opportunity to answer the poll on YouTube yet, please take a moment to just go in there. But when we quick glance at it, right, how have you been using Evmux? And right now, 43% have been utilizing it primarily for live streaming. Right, 43% have just been playing around with it still. So you haven't pulled the trigger yet, you haven't gone live, but that's totally fine because we have that knowledge base where I show you everything you need to know about how to utilize all the features that are currently inside of Evmux. So if you haven't checked out the knowledge base, do that, or come to our YouTube channel, check the current videos that are available. And then I also see that there's 14% that have been utilizing it for events and webinars. So that's also a great opportunity there to be able to create those events with inside of Evmux because of the Pro Scenes Builder. And, that's what we went ahead and discussed today. So it's just great. It's just great to get feedback. I'll definitely be sending out a survey. So to get more feedback on, your specific use case with inside of Evmux. What are the things you like? What are the things you don't like? We want honest feedback here because the only way we're going to be able to improve is by hearing from you and understanding truly what it is that you need. Because when you have multiple creatives, different minds thinking and different use cases, we can't come up with every single use case or feature that you may need, but you may be utilizing Evmux or creating content in a certain way that's just different than most people do it. But it's a feature that we can add that will amplify the content creation for others as well. So we're definitely looking for those big brains to come together with us and connect and really help us grow. And it's been great. This has been a great journey. But anything else you want to add?
I enjoyed this town hall a lot. Thank you everyone for sticking with us, for asking the
Yes.
questions. It helps us because it's hard sometimes to think, and that's what I like about live streaming, right?
Mhm.
Versus pre-recorded, that you can just fly with it and wait for the questions coming, and the questions are always better than what you could think to explain in the first place. So thank you everyone. Encouraging you joining our Facebook group. Those of you that haven't signed up yet for Evmux, it's free. So why not just
Right.
try, give us feedback, give it a shot. Our free plan is very aggressive, gives you a lot of things, 1080p streaming, pro scenes, everything almost, unless the only thing is our watermark on the top right corner.
Mhm.
But for sure to test things out and give it a real walkthrough. Go for it, give us feedback, and let's win together, guys.
Yeah. And if we didn't get to and we didn't get to address your question today, and I think I see a few questions here. Maybe we can jump on one or two there. But if we didn't get to address your question today, of course, join us inside the Facebook group. Slowly but surely, we're building it up. We're trying to create more engagement inside of the group and trying to create more atmosphere for more networking as well. But it's a great place to be able to ask questions. I'm in there, Alad's in there, the team's in there to be able to assist you with addressing any questions that you may have and things of that sort. 'Cause I see a question here from Shauna, I see a question here from David and Blind Guy. So please join us in the Facebook group. Take those questions, ask us inside the Facebook group. That way, after the live stream, I can jump in there and answer those questions directly for you. So if you just simply take a quick copy and paste, bring them in there, I can go ahead and address those and break it down for you a little bit more, because I see background music, certified partner, and how many speakers can you have on screen at the same time. So with that being said, Alad, this has been a great town hall, our 7th so far. Really grateful and thankful for everyone who continues to tune in. Seven. Right, 7. Okay, for tuning in, and it's just been an amazing journey, and we'll continue to push forward. We'll continue to be able to be as much help as possible. But truly, really grateful for everyone who tunes in every single Thursday for these town halls. And Alad, what do we always say?
Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
Oh, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much.
Have a good one. All right, I'm live. That was easy.